We're on our way to Budapest. We're going to Istanbul. It was a 9-hour flight or so to Istanbul. It's approximately 11 something.
11:30?
Yeah, 11:35 flight. We arrive in Istanbul, then we'll have a 4-hour layover there. This is gonna be one of those flights. We're gonna sleep a little, we're gonna eat a little, we're gonna enjoy ourselves, and we'll get to Istanbul, and hopefully there'll be some good food in the airport. We won't arrive to Kuwait until midnight, so it's a full 24 hours of travel. It's not actually 24 hours, but in the time warp it is. We're actually traveling in time. Very few people can do that, but we are capable of doing it. That's what makes us special. This is gonna be fun. Me and Todd, the time travelers. So we just got off a 9.5-hour flight from Boston to Istanbul. We're in the Istanbul, Turkey airport. It's 5:23 p.m. and we just had breakfast because our flight was at 11:30 at night. We slept the whole flight, woke up, and we're ready for breakfast. We're having some coffee, we just had some eggs, and now we're just chilling, trying to kill some time, talking, sharing some stories about our travels. This is fun time, you know, we get to bond a little bit and laugh and enjoy the things that we've done in the past and you know, just kind of soak it all in. It's really cool. Seeing all the people and you know, the different types of people, different races, religions, and whatnot. It's very cool. So we got a few hours to kill. We get on a plane in about 3.5 hours to head to Kuwait. So I'm just trying to stay calm, not eat too much, and keep the water out of me. This is fun, but at the end of the day, I still have to come in and be my best. So there's a lot of beer. Hear that beer? I would love a beer. Yeah. On the flight home, there'll be some beer. But for now, we're good, and we will keep updating you. So from Istanbul, I'm the Boston Mass. We'll see you soon. Alright, what's up? This is Boston Mass. You know who I am, and I'm sure you know who this guy is.
You guys know that.
This is the Luimarco. So I have never met this guy in my life. We're here in the Istanbul airport, and he recognized me because I'm kind of easy to see in the middle of Turkey. So I figured I would ask him some questions since he's always doing the interviewing. And one is, how did you get into the fitness bodybuilding thing? You know, you seem to know a lot about a lot.
Well, as I mentioned on my YouTube channel, the first time I stumbled on it was on magazines when I was younger. Magazines were from the late 80s, you know, Rich Gaspari, Lee Haney, Lila Brada, Mike Christian. So I fell in love with it. I was like the smallest kid, which I still am, but I was really weak back then. So the love came from there. and then the early 90s, there was the change between Lee Haney to Dorian Yates, and I was really in the middle of it. He was really passionate. Kevin lost in Helsinki, 92. And then Flex 93 did not take it, and Dorian came. So that era, I grew up with it. And on YouTube, how I started, there was that guy, maybe you know him, Scooby, right?
Yeah.
Like an old guy who was like probably the very first one to make some training videos. So well, I might as well, do like he does. And I was like probably the top 4 oldest guys actually on YouTube making fitness channels. And lately, I talked with you guys, so that's how it all started.
That's interesting. So, who is your favorite bodybuilder?
Oh, I'm gonna meet him tomorrow. One of them, Flex Wheeler, and the second being Francis Benfato, the French guy.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
That's the guy. That's my
He got a few injuries, but what a beautiful physique.
Yeah, he injured his chest.
Yeah.
And he's still old and strong. He's like 55 by now.
Yeah,
right?
and still looks amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Let me ask you this: for someone who doesn't compete yourself,
This is my mom. Sorry, it's live.
Okay.
Answer my mom live.
all right, let's see. Hi, Mom.
Hey mom, hello you. Ouais, je te rappelle, je suis en train de faire une interview dans l'aéroport. Bye bye.
Pretty interesting. This guy speaks 5
Istanbul.
languages. 5
Bye bye.
languages.
Thank you, bye bye.
Like in Russian.
All right, that was my mom. You cannot say no to my mom, right?
No. So let me ask you. You don't compete. You've never competed.
Never.
You're in great shape. I've seen you hit some poses, and you always lean and get some
Always
muscle.
try to see, right now, obviously, my aim is not to be the biggest, I'm natural. But my aim right now at 42 is to stay healthy and fight aging. It is.
Okay. I thought you were younger.
A lot of people think
You're
I'm
my
young.
age. We're the same
I'm
age.
42.
So let me ask you, what do you think it is about LUI that gets under people's skin so much? And why do you think they allow it to get under their skin? For example, you all know what I'm about to talk about. Is
Yeah.
Phil. I love Phil, but he had a meltdown on the LUI. What do you think about it is that brought that out of him?
Well, the thing is, me and Phil, we used to talk a lot. If you go to my Instagram, he is here. He is here. Phil Heath and Kai Green and Guy Sesterino. I talked to a lot of you guys, all the people in the industry. So we used to communicate on a daily basis. We can almost say we were at a friendly level, so to speak. And then that controversy happened, and I could not shut up about it. It was just too obvious in my reckoning, and most fans do agree that his gut was somehow dissented. And as a testament, he did an operation exactly 12 days after that. And that's what started it all. I mean, some other outlets say no, it was not there. It was an illusion. It is a made-up story. What a made-up story does not push you to do a procedure 12 days later that is life-threatening. So at the end of it all, right now, what I think is that bodybuilding is at a crossroad. They either make it mainstream and appeal to a lot of people and bring sanity to it in a sense and common sense, or they may as well just cover their eyes. There is no bubble gut. You can come as big as you want, as long as all the body parts are good, which is true when it comes to Phil Heath. It's just amazing everywhere. But that central region that connects all the body parts was problematic. So what is the rule for it? Obviously right now there is no rule. You can come as big as you want in the stomach and you will still can win.
Very interesting. All right, one last thing about Louie speaks 5 languages. How did that come about?
Well, as I mentioned, I was born in Algeria. So by default, people there do speak Algerian. They speak, which is a dialect in a sense. They speak Arabic, which is the original one, and my native language is called Berber. This is my ethnicity. As for French and English, since I live in Canada, I speak them by default.
Okay.
There.
So now you're obviously going to the Kuwait Pro. You're flying in from Canada. What is bringing you out here? Is it just a fan of bodybuilding, want to see this particular show? Or do you have an affiliation here you're doing something business-wise?
No affiliation whatsoever. It's the first time me meeting everybody. As a matter of fact, the first time I meet you, and Jose is my friend on Facebook, by the way. All right, we're friends on Facebook. So yeah, I mean, these guys invited me since 3 years. I never went. So this year, they insisted I'm gonna go, and I'll probably be the only Arab speaking there on that stage. So that would be quite eventful.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm very glad to meet you, and
my pleasure.
appreciate you doing a quick interview. And I look forward to seeing whatever it is you're gonna do here.
Are you gonna do some guest poses you too?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna be competing.
Really?
Yeah, it's a 212 show.
All righty. What do you think of me comparing you with the guy you got to see there, namely Branch Warren? For me, you're like a small Branch Warren. Is that a compliment for you?
It's a big compliment. I love Branch's work ethic. I love what it took for him to get that physique. Obviously, towards the end, he had a lot of injuries, and I haven't gotten to that point yet. But as far as the hard, vascular, muscular condition type of physique, I think that's a compliment, because you can only get that with a lot of hard work.
Exactly, and that's my second question, if I may ask you. I mean, to get that hard, granity physique, you must basically move some crazy weight.
Yeah.
At your 42, how did you dodge injuries?
Well, I did it smart, One, I wasn't just a meathead lifting weight. I knew what I wanted to do at a young age, so I got educated. I went to college, got a degree in exercise science, and I studied kinesiology and physiology and how to do things safely, and also working as hard as I could to get there. And I've had my share of injuries, but nothing catastrophic that would stop me, And I also believe that part of it is genetic. There's a lot of guys that train heavy and hard and don't have that same sandpaper look, So, as far as Branch, he's going to be here, right? He's guest posing. Yeah, Branch is a great guy. I've known him for a long time, 20 years now. And anytime anyone compares me to him, they think they're insulting me.
No.
And it is a compliment 100%, because one, he's won a lot of shows.
2009 version of it, crazy.
Unreal. I thought there was something wrong with my computer.
Yeah.
I was back at the hotel room watching it, and I thought there was something wrong. He was the first person to come out.
Exactly.
And 10 people after, it looked like shit. I'm like,
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Maybe there was something
Aside
wrong.
from Jay Cutler, everybody else looked really flat.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm excited to compete this weekend. It's going to be a huge lineup. Just as good as the Olympia, minus Flex Lewis. So I got some vengeance.
Talking about Flex, if I might ask you, since I'm Luimarco, the controversial guy, what do you think about his win versus the Persian guy, Hadi Chopin?
Well, bodybuilding is an opinion-based sport, so there's always room for argument, but it was close. Hadi was bigger, harder in some poses, but you're always going to have those people that are going to argue, and they argue against me. That's how I lose all the time, because I'm always the hardest guy there. So-and-so had a prettier physique. Flex flows better. That was their decision on that day.
Okay.
What would I have done? I'm more similar to Hadi. My physique is a bigger, rounder, harder, gnarlier look. So I would be lying if I said I wouldn't lean towards that type of physique.
Would you agree that Flex was definitely not as good as Mr. Olympia with before?
Oh, not even close. Not even close. I love him. He's a great friend. And I wouldn't have had a problem if he was third or if he was second. I don't have a problem with him winning. But he didn't win handily. Convincingly.
The thing is, on record, that day I woke up at 11 Eastern time and my phone was blowing up. Flex actually thought that it is me who provoked that rage against him. It was not me, it was Persian fans right, who are totally different from Arabs, because he saw some Persian words. Probably he thought it was Arabic and the fans were coming from me. No, two different ball games. Probably he got him confused with Ahmad Ashkanani. But people need to know that Persians were really passionate about it. Hadi was not able to compete in Miss Olympia for obvious reasons, for visa, and his loss there was not the most accepted, so to speak. But at the end of it all, I think that Hadi and Flex are cool friends and are cool with it. And you need to understand that bodybuilding will always be subjective. And indeed, some say it was really close. Some even talked about the bubble gut of Hadi on record. They say he did not control it all the time. So what is right is right.
It's true. It's true. We'll have another chance this weekend. You know, everyone was upset I didn't get to stand next to Ahmad.
Yeah.
Or Hadi. Apparently Hadi has or has not got his visa to come here either.
To Kuwait?
Yeah. So that may or may not happen. But Ahmad definitely will. So I'll be standing next to him. And I'll get the shot that I wanted at the Olympia.
Let me ask you, who is your favorite bodybuilder of all time?
Of all time?
I could guess.
Go ahead, who?
Dorian?
I love the way Dorian handled his business. I love the way he handled his business more than anyone. Physique-wise, and I hate to admit it on camera, is Sean Ray. Sean looked fake. He looked like plastic, like they put it all together, you know? If you had the ideal, perfect caricature of a physique, it would be Sean. But I like the way Dorian handled his business better.
Sean went on record and he said that according to him, he would have been the best 212 ever. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I do agree too.
Yeah. Most likely, you know, he's bigger, rounder, more complete, and more conditioned than
Lee Freeze, for instance?
Oh, yeah. Or than Flex.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
So there's really no argument there, but that's all coulda, woulda, shoulda. You don't know until they're standing next to each other.
He was 5'7", 220, Ray, if I do recall. Although in 95, he tried to come bigger. He had like 13 pounds. He looked very soft.
Yeah.
So he didn't do that era again. 96, he came in 220, and he was very, very strong.
Yeah. If he come in at 212, he would
Hard to beat.
very hard to beat.
He was complete.
Yeah.
He was really complete.
Yeah, there's something else with the whole weight thing, you know. Depending on when the weigh-in is what you're gonna see. In Korea, we had to weigh in right before the show, the night before, which affected the way Flex was able to carb up and the way his physique was gonna look the very next day. Where at the Olympia, we weigh in Wednesday night. There's all Wednesday night, Thursday, all day Friday. By the time he hits the stage on Friday night, he could be 215, 217.
Exactly, yeah.
Even if he's not, he's full. He's a lot fuller. A fuller flex is a very dangerous flex. A flat flex is very beatable.
Which is the difference between the two shows, right? The Mr. Olympia and the one with Hadi.
That was the difference. So you would have a big difference comparing them if Flex got to eat for a couple extra days.
Now, Jose, sorry, because already it's like me, I'm making the interview, right?
No, I love it.
Is it your first trip to Kuwait?
Yes.
Okay. As you know, I was the inventor of the term anabolic chicken, which is related to Kuwait.
Yeah.
Do you think it is real? It makes a difference in a sense, or it's just a legend?
No, I think there's many factors. I think the fact that all they have to do, the stress is taken away from them. There's no family here, wives, children. They train twice a day. They have someone on top of them training them. The food is perfect. The food is perfectly timed. The supplementation is perfect. The stresses of the supplementation are not there. You know, there are so many factors and variables that allow them to do 100% what they need to do. It's
like the perfect storm.
It is. It's like going to an Olympic training camp where everything is there for you. There's no other situation like that in the world. And so that's why you have guys like, particularly Brandon Curry, benefiting because he has 4 kids. He's got every distraction imaginable at home. when he comes here, he just metamorphosized to a different person. You know, Rolly Winkler, same thing, has 3-4 kids. For him to do what he's done,
Best year ever, right?
by far, yeah, best couple of years ever.
It's always it's like your age, right?
Yeah, he's close. He's late 30s.
Back in 2013, when he was with that woman grandma, right?
Yeah.
I thought everybody thought he was finished, chemically burned, he's washed out. Right now, came to Kuwait, it's like he's rejuvenated. Best year ever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it was the opposite. I think Grandma didn't want him to do anything, so she was keeping him from doing too much. And then when they just opened the floodgates when he left her.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it's real. It's absolutely real. And if I had the opportunity, I work. I have a full-time job. I have a life at home, and I love my life, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So I would never come here because I don't need to. I've proven I'm one of the best in the world 9 years straight without coming to Kuwait, you know? So I don't see that I would benefit from it, but I see where people do.
I can tell you, a lot of these messages are guys asking me, Louie, hook me up with Kuwait.
Oh, I'm sure. But those are guys also that it wouldn't matter.
Exactly, because
they're not that good to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah. The true ones are the ones that Bader seeks out and finds.
Oh, believe me, I mean,
he's got a good eye.
I mean, a lot of guys actually refused to go to Kuwait with brother like 2 years ago. Right now, they're begging me to hook them up. And these are top 10 pros.
Yeah.
In Miss Olympia. So a lot of guys want to go there. Of course, anabolic chicken is free. The training camp is free. They're surrounded 24/7. There's no other camp in the world, no other gym for that matter, that can line up 4 guys in the top 10.
Yeah.
4, right?
Yeah.
Brandon Curry, Rolly Winkler, Nathan, and Rami.
Yeah.
Do you think he's progressing or stalling?
I think what we're seeing is a little bit of both. I think he's maturing. His physique is getting more complete slowly, but his conditioning went backwards a little bit.
Is he good news or bad news for people who try to chase him in the mass game?
That's bad news. You need to chase your own game. If you're trying to be someone else, you're not going to be the best you can be. So everyone should focus on being the best they can be, and they'll be good. You know, there's only one Rami, so you can't try to be Rami because it's going to ruin your look. And same thing goes for Rami. He needs to just focus on being the best he can be. You know, and I think he's progressing, but I think his conditioning did not progress with the completeness of his physique. I love his physique.
Do you think he was better after Mr. Olympia? I mean, the next show, the Spain show, which you won?
Arguably, maybe at 1%, not much better. Just he wasn't standing next to Phil.
Absolutely.
It made him stand out more.
What about Dexter? Every year we say it's his last year. Is it the last year? Is he done? Is he cooked?
He looked incredible. You could have argued he beat Rolly the other day in Prague.
In some poses he was beating.
Yeah, his front double, his rear double are so impressive. His back, he's got one of the best backs in all of bodybuilding. And, you know, I don't think he should stop. He's healthy. He's healthy, he's got no injuries, and he's making money. So that was the LUI. It was a pleasure meeting this young man, and he's a vault of information, and I didn't realize that. So you learn new stuff every day. I thought he was just kind of a funny YouTube guy with a funny accent, but he actually knows a lot of shit. So we'll visit again with Louie. I appreciate you doing this. Pleasure meeting you.